And we're back with another high quality, low resolution heat call recap video. Let me start off with a sip of delicious coffee there and talk about the heat call today. Today is it's May the 23rd. Is it Tuesday today or is it Wednesday? It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. The heat call today was by Scott Rhino Harris. Great guy. He's one of the top people in the company. He started this company with Jay Nolan. He's been working with Jay for 20 years, 22 years, something like that now. And I actually, last night, I was at Luke Curry's CMT up in Bowling Green, and afterwards, if you were listening to the heat call, he was talking about a handful of people came over to my house after, and I was showing them around. Well, that was me, and that was Mackenzie down here, who you can't see. And it's really inspirational to see what's possible when you start getting this passive income going. He was walking us through his house, which is beautiful, it's a stunning house. But what's really cool is the lifestyle that he's able to live. He's not tied down to a job. He doesn't have to, like Luke Curry says, I don't even own an alarm clock. Don't have to use it. You wake up when you want, you eat breakfast when you want, you go to Maui when you want. Seems like a sweet deal, right? So that was the gist of the heat call. He was going over some things from he talked a lot about the CMT last night, which is really electric. We had about 60 people show up. It was a little bit too big for the huge house that we were in, so that tells you about how big it was. And he was giving us his backstory, which was kind of interesting for me because I heard pretty much the heat call the night before. We got a private showing of the heat call the night before on his deck, and then he did on the heat call, and basically he's talking about, and this is something that you hear from a lot of these guys who are multi millionaires in this industry. His business was failing, just renting a bedroom, thousands of dollars in debt, and at the 11th hour, when he's at the end of his wits, he gets tricked to being introduced into direct sales. And a buddy of his who lived 3 hours away, he said, "Hey, I got these business people. You're an entrepreneur. I got these business people who are interested in meeting you." And Ryan saying, looking back, I don't know, I should have been skeptical why they wanted to meet with me. I frankly was not very good at business, seeing as his business was failing. But he got in his car, used his last $20 to head out to his buddy's place, and he showed up. It's like, he fell into a trap. He wasn't expecting the pitch for direct sales. But then he was talking about, do you happen to remember the gentleman's name? Wharton School of Business, Pepsi, Vice President. Blanket on the dude's name. Pretty legit kind of guy. And
Google.
What?
We'll Google.
Yeah. Look it up. So I've got the lovely Mackenzie here helping me out on the Googles. We'll see if I could get that name to you. But this guy walked away from a VP at Pepsi to start doing direct sales. And Rhino's sitting in a chair watching a video of this guy. He's thinking, I would kill for that job. And this guy walked away to do what I'm looking at getting into. That's interesting. Or for me, my dream, the number one thing I could possibly think of doing is being a pro baseball player. Jay Nolan walked away from pro baseball. That's so inconceivable to me. But that's the kind of lifestyle. That's the kind of money that there is in direct sales. And he was breaking it down. Direct sales, it's exactly business. And it is. You got to market, you got to go out there, you got to sell your product, buy wholesale, you sell retail, just like every other business in the world. You don't have the startup costs. Everybody can be a business owner. Kind of with the change that you'll find in the sofa. Did you get the name? Alright, so that's a no on the name. Hopefully I'll be able to leave this in the description for you. I want to try and keep these short, of course. He was also stressing the importance of boot camp. And then it's something I'm really excited for. It's going to be a huge learning experience. So I would recommend to everyone, get to the boot camp. Get to the boot camp. You need the training, especially if you're like me and you don't know what the hell you're doing. Get to the training. Jay Nolan, he's going to try and make 1,000 millionaires. All right? On the heat calls, we're getting about 120 people a day. We're so early. If we're not the millionaires, it's just because we weren't working. That's all there is to it. So put the work in, listen to the heat calls. My name's Danny Costco. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.